Hello horror fans, and welcome once again to the Horrorable. Tonight I'll be talking about Hobbs. This tiny population is about to get even smaller. Now the movie is about a young widow who mistakenly lets in a stranger who has these unusual psychic powers. Now it's all up to her and her wit and might to survive this crazy psychopath. Now, the movie starts with Lacey. Lacey is the widow who has recently lost her husband, and how her friends are trying to help her cope with that loss by trying to introduce her to new people. Obviously, Lacey doesn't want to let go of her husband that quick, so she's not really into all this knowing new people kind of thing. So, with that, and without even her knowing, her friend Cindy, I believe her name is, sends out or tells her that she has just sent out a handyman to work in her house, but her plan, Cindy's plan, her friend's plan, is pretty much to try and see if they'll hook up. So Lacey, on the other hand, says, fine, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna hook up with a handyman. And lesser words than that. So she gets home, we meet another character named Ben. Now, Ben is an old man that also keeps an eye on her ever since her husband's accident. And Ben helps her out by cutting wood for the fireplace, little things around the house that maybe Lacey can't do. While he's there, he reminds her of a certain date, which is the date that Carter's Curse was created, which is kind of like an urban legend at Hobbs. Now, Lacey isn't really too much into the urban legend, but while he is telling the story, you start to listen on the radio from Lacey's truck that there is an escaped convict or an escaped psychopath who is an ingenious manipulator. So, from there we see that after Ben leaves, after telling her the Carter's Curse story, she is about to leave herself. And then she almost runs over our next character. So she takes him in because she almost kills him and she feels kind of bad. From there starts the struggle between who is who and who is not. If that makes any sense. Now, what I liked about the movie is how they try to play out and they try to keep you in suspense or in mystery about, okay, you hear about this escaped psychopath, and you got this one guy here, and then you got somebody out there. So they play with that a lot to a certain point until you get the reveal. Now, I don't want to say too much about it, but they do deal with multiple personalities and the unusual psychic powers that the psychopath has is that whatever he touches, he turns into that person. Like anything that belonged to somebody else, he touches it and he pretty much turns into that person, which is really an unusual power, but that's something that one of his personalities have. And, well, that's how his whole story turns into who really is who. Now, what I didn't like about the movie is that there's a long stretch in the beginning of the movie where you're getting to know the characters, which is okay, I guess, so you can pretty much care about them later on. when everything starts going on, when everything starts moving and moving. So it didn't kind of dragged a little, so it's one thing I didn't like. I think if we knew a little less, and after things that happen, it would probably be just more of a surprise instead of, okay, you know, like, geez, you already gave up who is the escaped person. Now, the movie is not a bad movie. It's a pretty good movie. I found it okay. I liked it. It reminded me a horror movie. It doesn't give you too much gore. It doesn't give you too much suspense. And it could have helped that there were some commercials in the middle. With that said, it's still a watchable movie. It has some interesting points, and I think when he starts dealing with his multiple personalities, I thought it was a cool effect to hear the voices that are going around his head, and the things he's gone through that have maybe turned him into what he is. But then again, I still liked it. It was an interesting movie, and I like the way how they kind of trick you into thinking something that is not. With that said, as always, these are just my opinions. Don't take my word for it. If you haven't seen Hobbs, then check it out. You may find something you like. And on that note, hope you like what you see. Thanks for watching. Now, on to the next video.